Good morning, guys. This is Teacher for Life, Home for Life. So, this is our Term 1, Grade 6 Geography. We are going to be looking at maps and globes. So, let's get straight to our business for today. When we talk of maps, we are talking about the representation of the Earth species on a flat surface. That is a map. So we use maps to find locations, to find places. So they help us to navigate around the world. Then when we talk of globes, a globe is around like features that we have, like here this is the globe, because it says the Earth is represented in the form of a globe. We assume that the Earth is a round shape. So now when we are talking about maps and globes, there are things that we have to look at, which are most important, that will help us to understand or to be able to locate places on the map. So we want to talk about latitude and longitude. So when we talk of latitude, it is a line which shows us the position of a place north or south of the equator. So these are actually imaginary lines, which means that they don't really exist in reality, but we know that they exist, like in our minds. You can't find the Greenwich Meridian or the equator, but we know that they exist in our minds so that we can be able to find places. So the most important line of latitude is this one, the equator, which divides the Earth into the northern and the southern hemispheres. We are going to talk about hemispheres shortly. So now that we know latitudes are the lines that show us the position of a place north or south of the equator, and also they are also called parallels. They are called parallels because they will never meet. Right here we have another line of latitude, another line of latitude, another line of latitude. So these lines, they never meet. Come what may, they will never meet. So these are the lines of latitude. Then now let's talk about the lines of longitude. So the lines of longitude, they're also imaginary lines that we have, but now these ones, they show us the position of the place east. So when we are talking about east, it's the side, the right hand side, or west, means east or west of the Greenwich Meridian. So when we are talking about the longitude, the most important line of longitude is this one, the Greenwich Meridian, which runs from the north pole to the south pole. So that is the Greenwich Meridian, and it was called the Greenwich Meridian mainly because it runs through, or it passes through, the Greenwich city in England. So you find out that now when it comes to these lines of longitude, they meet at the north and southern poles. So they'll be more like this. So they meet at the north and southern poles. That's how they operate. Okay, so I'll show you maybe another diagram later on. But these are the lines of longitude they meet. So that is the major difference between the latitude and the longitude. The latitude, they don't meet, they are parallel lines, but then the longitude, they meet at the North Pole and the South Pole. So that is what we have. Okay, so let's continue. So we talked about the prime meridian, and we say this is the most important line of longitude, and it is also known as the Greenwich Meridian, and it goes from the North Pole to the South Pole, and it passes through the Greenwich city in England. So that is what we have seen. So now let's talk about the equator, but we talked about it. So it is a line on a map that divides the Earth or globe into north and south, just like we said. So here we can have the diagram. This is the equator. And then if we want to show the greenish on each one, it will be like this. This is the greenish meridian. One put a capital letter. That is okay, so greenish meridian. Right, so that's what we have there, guys. I hope you are following. So now that we know what a globe is, we now know we have the equator, we have the greenish meridian. We want to talk about hemispheres. So a hemisphere is a half. Hemi means half. So a sphere is a round-like shape, like the earth. So now if the sphere that we have is divided into half, this half part of it is what we are referring to as a hemisphere. So the equator divides the earth into two hemispheres. Number one being the northern hemisphere, and then number two being the southern hemisphere. Then also the Greenwich meridian axis, it also divides the earth into the eastern and the western hemisphere. So that is what we are talking about there. Okay. So now here I have a picture that I want us to make use of so that we can know if everyone understands what a hemisphere is and to find places or to locate areas based on the hemispheres in which they are found in. So firstly, I'll just give an example of South Africa. This is where we find South Africa. It is the tip of Africa. So we want to find out in which hemisphere do we find South Africa. So remember the two most important lines that we have to work with when we are finding hemispheres. So let's start with the equator there. If you look at okay, line. So if you look at this is the equator. So South Africa is in the southern part. So it means that South Africa is found in the southern hemisphere because it is in the southern part of the equator. That's fine. I'll wrap off this. And then we want to find out the other hemisphere in which it is found because any given area is found in two or more hemispheres. So firstly, in relation to the equator, we say South Africa is found in the southern hemisphere. So now what about in relation to the Greenwich meridian or the prime meridian? So this is the prime meridian here. So in relation to the prime meridian, we can see this is the eastern side. So South Africa is also in the what? In the eastern, okay, let me put it up so little, in the eastern hemisphere. That is what it means. I hope we are together, guys, and I hope you enjoy. So let's take a practice question so that we can just see what we are together. So name the hemispheres in which each of the following continents are found. So we want to look at Australia. So Australia, let's go back to the no. Okay. So now we don't want South Africa, we want Australia. So this is Australia, guys. So we want to find out the hemispheres in which we find Australia. So again, let's start with the equator. This is the equator, and as you can see, Australia is found also in the southern part of the equator. So it's southern hemisphere. All right, comment right here. Southern hemisphere. And then let's find the other hemisphere now in relation to the Greenwich meridian. So in relation to the Greenwich meridian, okay, sorry. In relation to the Greenwich meridian, you can see that it's also in the eastern side, southern and eastern, just like South Africa. Okay, let's talk about North America now. I want to find out where North America is in terms of the hemispheres. So this is North America. So North America, in relation to the equator, as you can see, it's found in the north. So that's number one, northern hemisphere. Northern hemisphere. Then let's find out the other hemisphere. So in terms of the Greenwich meridian, this is the Greenwich meridian. You find out that it's found on the western side. So on the western side, so let's record that. Western is in last day. Let's look at Asia. So this is where we find Asia. So Asia again, in terms of the equator, is in the northern part. The northern part. So let's say northern hemisphere. And then in terms of the Greenwich meridian is going to be, okay, let's not Asia. So you can see it's in the east. So now this is the eastern hemisphere. And that's the thing. Okay, so the last question is name two continents that are in 3 hemispheres. So like I told you guys, we find out that a continent or a country, or whichever country you may think of, is found in 2 or more hemispheres. One in relation to the equator, then another one in relation to the Greenwich meridian. But there are other continents that can be in 3 or even 4 hemispheres. So let's take, for example, let's look at South America. South America has this part which is in the northern hemisphere, and it has this part which is in the southern hemisphere. This is in relation to the equator. So we have northern and southern already because it's crossing the equator. So if a continent crosses the equator, it means that if it crosses a line of latitude or longitude, it means that it will be found in 2 of the hemispheres. So now we know it is in the northern and the southern hemisphere. Then what about in relation to the Greenwich meridian? So in relation to the Greenwich meridian, we can actually see that it is on the western side. So we are just going to write southern or South America. Let's go and write South America is number 1 continent, which is found in 3 hemispheres. So South America. And then let's look at the next one. So just quickly for you, we just look at a continent that is crossing this line, either this one, equator, or this one, the Greenwich meridian. So the other continent that we have is this one, Europe. As you can see, if you look at Europe, there's this part which is here, and then there's this part which is here. So it means that it's in the eastern and the western hemisphere, the eastern and the western hemisphere. In relation to the equator, Europe is found in the northern hemisphere. So our other continent is Europe. So basically that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. See you next time in the next